Test, test. Test, test. You guys are live now. I'll go look at the thing and make sure the sound's coming through on YouTube.
Okay.
Make sure you put some shout outs
You want
about
this side?
Tulum Botanical Podcast Station, whatever, for me.
Yes.
Okay, Tulum Botanical.
I don't know. I mean, it's BTR Radio, BTR Tulum, but
BTR
make
Tulum.
sure you don't say Bula, obviously.
Yeah, BTR Tulum.
Yes, BTR Tulum is the station for now.
Okay.
Let's see here. Okay. Just call it Tulum Botanical Bar. Okay, and live.
Let's post it on Instagram.
Yeah.
Can you send us the link?
I'm still working on opening. You guys are.
No, you're good. I'm gonna see if I can find the link.
Yeah, it's gonna be here. I know how to get it from here. I was trying to do it from my phone, but okay. So share.
How do we test if the mics are working?
So there should be a green thing on the side over there, and you'll be able to see.
The mics are receiving it.
Now he was gonna
You're gonna have to face. You're not gonna. You have to face the mic. You have to actually talk into it.
Yeah. Like
You got to get really close.
It's not gonna catch it.
Okay, so I have. Okay, I found it.
oh, we got
I got it on my phone.
You got the live stream?
Yeah, testing 1 2. Can you hear me?
testing a little bit more.
There's a delay.
Yeah.
There's always gonna be a little delay.
No, I'm just letting him know. It's as high as it goes.
Do you guys want this to go live on our
This one I
thing?
think is not working.
That one's not working?
Yeah, because I am.
Okay, one of the mics is not working.
Because I'm speaking right into it.
Get closer.
I mean, I'm seeing it register on this end.
Testing.
Testing. Yeah.
Speak louder. See if it's.
Low.
Okay, so let's open up the mic.
There's a delay, so you gotta wait until it comes up.
Yeah, it's like not. It's not. I don't hear it from it.
Let me see.
You can test it more if you want. I'm seeing if there's volume on this.
Hello, 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 hello. Testing 1 2. Testing. Hello, hello. Speaking, speaking.
There's these are here. There's these.
I'm talking. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep talking. And is it picking up yet? Oh shit. There we go. Dun 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 dun. Oh. How does this? Here we go.
Okay.
Trying to keep it like in one place. There we go.
Testing 1 2.
Okay, just don't say anything for a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, little louder into the mic.
Okay, I want to talk louder. Testing right now.
Okay, a little less loud.
Okay.
There. Okay, this should be good without any clipping. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's very loud. Nice.
All right, enjoy.
Awesome, thank you. Oh shit, this is gonna fall. Oh my god. Here we go.
Got it?
Yeah, it should be working now.
Alright.
We might hear the echo a little bit.
How do I...
Is it still live for you?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
What echo? Is he gonna close the door?
Oh, never mind. Yeah, we should close that. Cool. All right.
Okay, settings.
It's a cool setup with the flag right there. And all the plants. Tulum Botanical Bar. I guess it's called Tulum Botanical Radio now, right?
BTR Tulum.
BTR Tulum. Well, the B was for Bula, which we can't say.
But we could say BTR Tulum.
Yeah, BTR Tulum.
Copy.
So I guess like most of the video is gonna be clipped, and then we'll get started. Get started ASAP.
Okay, give me the link. I need link.
You need it for me?
No, how to put a link on Instagram.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me know if you figure it out.
That way we can have at least one viewer.
Oh yeah, and then I'll just post the live on a reel or something. On my
Yo, what's up, everyone? We're gonna do our first podcast. I'm here with Edgar. We're using the BTR Tulum Podcast Center here at Tulum Botanicals on 7th Chalmers. And I'm gonna put the link so that you can see the live.
Yo, what's up, everyone?
Okay, so now...
Oh, and you figured out how to add the link?
Okay, link. That's... There's a way to do links on here. Which one
We
does
got it.
the link? Do you know?
I think it's like
Should be
here.
just
Oh, it's not this one. I thought it would be.
There's usually like a link button.
Yeah. I usually okay. This is kind of weird. Oh, I think I figured it out. Yes. So it's gonna be here.
And then add yourself.
And then what?
What happened?
Oh, I thought it would be here somewhere.
That's what I thought too.
But you don't see the link.
No.
Damn, that's crazy.
It's usually something here.
That's weird.
And when I type in link, there's no. We're gonna do our first. Sorry, folks. We are getting this live right now for anybody who might be listening later.
Oh, I think I figured it out. Yes. So it's gonna be here. And then I did not figure it out. That's funny.
Add link to Instagram story.
Damn, that's crazy.
Create or upload story content, then tap the sticker icon, select the link sticker, and paste your desired URL. Yeah.
Weird.
There's no link sticker.
Add a link in your Instagram story. So you're going to go to story, hit the camera. You can either do a video or upload, or you can hit that AA, and that little AA create button will bring you to this screen.
Boom.
Right hand corner where it's rainbow, you can click that and change different colors, so whatever you want the background to be. Then you can add text if you want. You just hit that AA button and you can write some text. So if you want to give people some context about why they should click on your link, you can write the text. Then you're going to click on this square emoji in the upper right hand corner, and that's going to bring up this menu. From here, you're going to scroll down and find the link button, and here you can paste the. Then you're going to click on the square emoji in the upper right hand.
Square emoji, upper right hand corner. Okay, square emoji. And then there should be.
Hand corner, and that's going to bring up this menu. From here, you're going to scroll down and find.
Scroll down to link. But the link on mine is gone. So it is supposed to be in here.
Yeah. Oh well. We'll figure something out.
Yo, what's up, everyone? We're doing a live first podcast. I have Edgar here. What's the subject, Edgar?
The subject is self-mastery and divine guidance.
There you go. So let's see. This is a trial and error, figuring this out. So I will be having a link here. That's what we're figuring out right now. Yeah, wish me luck.
Hell yeah. How long have we been live? This is fun.
Like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I guess it should say right there, huh? It's cool that Jeremiah was able to figure it out. Oh, we
Instagram.
are set.
Put your Instagram.
Okay, found it. Here you go.
Go ahead and repost it.
Let's see. So did you post it yet? Yet? There we go. Oh, yep, got it. I'm adding it to the story to my story right now.
chip, and they will tell us on the phone. So right now we just have one, which is us.
I should have this on the other side.
I mean, this is a pretty decent setup.
Yeah,
like
right?
it. Yeah.
For what it is, yeah, it's amazing. Plus, I like how I look on the video with these glasses on. It's funny.
Yeah, we look like the authority of some sort.
It's some sort of, yeah.
Men in black with blue jeans.
Hell yeah. I'm so excited for this. Shout out to BTR Radio, Tulum Botanical Bar Radio. Doesn't sound like BTR, but it's whatever. Welcome everyone to this amazing podcast. It's going to be about self-mastery and divine guidance, and we are going to go into some really exciting topics and explore very intuitively for the most part.
So you want to bring the mic as close to
Yeah.
you as you can. All right. Yeah, so my name is Orlando. I am a somatic massage therapist. I have completed the somatic experiencing 3-year program. So the certificate, it says like trauma expert. Of course, I am always learning and experiencing new things and supporting people in the best way that I can with embodiment and guidance, gentle guidance into themselves and their essence. And so this topic does actually relate to my journey with somatic experiencing and somatics in general, because it's taken me into learning about myself and learning what experiences I have through sensations and through emotions and through energy and spirituality, which allowed me to start connecting with my ancestors and feel them on my shoulder or my back, receiving energy from them, love, connecting with my... Did it just shut off? It just turned off.
Oh, what? It says it's still live. Oh no.
Yeah, but this is...
Yeah, you're right. That's weird.
The video... Oh, it's the camera.
Oh,
sorry, guys.
It was just the camera that shut off?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. We are back on.
Okay, so the camera might or might not turn on and off every once in a while. I'm not sure how we're going to keep that on, but we'll figure it out. And it's easy, just press the button thing. So like I was saying, like my journey through somatics and learning to embody my physical being, and then slowly learning how to embody my energetic being, my vibration, and then my emotions, which was one of the more challenging ones. Like, dude, emotions are hard sometimes.
They are.
Like,
sometimes, yeah.
They don't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
They don't tell you like, hey, this is why I'm feeling this way. They just feel, and it almost seems like they don't even care what scenario you're in. Like, doesn't matter where you're at, if you're having a conversation with someone or not. Like, they don't care. They just feel the experience that's happening. And the reason I say they don't care, it's because I might have a spirit talking to me, and then I'm having weird feelings that I don't know why I'm having these feelings. I'll give you an example. Okay. I went to go visit my friend in LA, Dustin, and when we saw each other, we're really good friends from college.
Oh,
Last time I saw him was maybe like 4 years ago. And before that college, I graduated college in 2008, Ringling College of Art and Design. And when I saw him, we're friends who love each other, like bromance off the wazoo, like love each other deeply.
Oh, yeah.
And so when we see each other, we like scream like little girls and want to hug each other and connect.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
that.
relationship. This time, I felt something weird, and that's where the emotions were telling me, like, hey, there's something weird going on. And I looked at his eyes, and I was sensing this. He was backing off, like he didn't want to fully express his love towards me, or there was something stuck, and there was something in between us. And he later on that same night, when he took me to his home after I landed from the airport, he told me, like, yeah, I felt this weird hesitancy towards you. And I was like, yeah, bro, I was feeling that. I could feel the hesitancy, and I was just like, okay, I accept you the way that you are. I love you unconditionally. So whatever is going on, it's perfectly fine. I don't need to bring it up. I don't need to find out what this is. I'm just letting it happen. And generally, that's what I do with emotions. They come up. I feel kind of strange. They might not have any relation to what's happening in the present moment. And I just let them be. So these kind of moments that happen to me where I sense something in another person that's not congruent, like I can sense their essence, their heart, and I can sense who they are and who they're acting as in that moment, or what part of themselves is expressing. And that generally I can feel alignment. I can feel like, oh, this person is who they say they are. They're expressing how they actually feel inside. I can see it. I can hear them clearly. This time, he was expressing in a way that was not congruent with what he's actually feeling inside towards me, like the love he wanted to express towards me. And I can feel that hesitancy. There was an incongruency. Is that the right way to?
Yeah, I would use that word for sure.
Anyways,
Congruency.
it's like listening to a song, but it's off by half a beat. And it's like, well, this is a good song, but there's something just a little off, and I just can't get into the rhythm of our connection, of our flow. And later on, when we were driving, when he was driving in his car and taking me to his place, he started talking about a dream he had. There was this spirit that ended up being like a harpy that was in a corner, and in his dream, this lady ended up kicking it and upsetting it, and then the harpy ate the woman and then looked at him, and it was freaking, and then he woke up.
Whoa.
When he told me that, I then had the feeling that everything made sense. I knew what was happening. A spirit, an energy, had jumped on him and is now in his field. And then when I checked inside myself, I could feel the pressure that was on the left side of him. I could feel that presence is there as a pressure in my physical body. And my feeling body can sense, oh, this energy, this pressure that I feel is not him. It's something else, but it's on him. And so, in this way, emotions and felt senses can be a little confusing for me, because I might be tuning into other dimensions and I don't know what's happening. And so, feelings is like an endless portal of mystery.
I can so relate. Yeah, and sometimes with feelings too, I get the sense that there's always other.
We have someone online.
Intelligences.
What up, y'all?
What's up? There's always other intelligences connected, or spirits, you could say, corresponding to the feelings. And so in this example of like him telling you about his dream and how he saw that harpy, which is, I don't know what their attributes are or how like positive or negative they are, but
a harpy is a half or the top part of their body is a woman, and then the rest is this giant bird.
Yeah, so they have like bird talons and wings, right?
So that's a harpy.
Okay. Nice. It's interesting. I remember those from the Yu-Gi-Oh cards actually. They used to have like these designs with the harpies, and those were pretty cool. But yeah, I can actually also introduce myself as well. I forgot to.
Oh, they left.
Oh, they left. Oh no. I was gonna say that yeah, I'm Edgar. I'm Edgar Sanchez. I am a arcane magic mentor and also a sovereignty coach. I absolutely love magic, and in exploring the different styles and methods of esoteric knowledge and magic in ways that are highly practical for us as individuals in the modern world. And I also love to experiment and explore with how we can embody the highest expression of ourself, of our authentic self, especially through mirror magic, for example, and how we can also utilize the power of making promises with ourselves in ways that set us up for success and give us a lot of energy and focus towards aligning with what feels most true for us. So that's one of the main things that I practice. Of course, there's like so much else that I practice on a day-to-day basis, but it's super fun. And then going back to what you were saying about you bringing up your experience with your friend, it related to how like you're sensitive with emotions, right? And
Yeah, they're a bit of a mystery.
and how they're a mystery. Okay, yeah. And like what it means on, I guess, a magical level, but also on a level of self-mastery and divine guidance, which that's what the topic is for today as well. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so the self-mastery for me in Austin has been about emotions and finding out what emotions mean to me and my experience. Because there's a general sense of emotions, and what society has agreed on are emotions, and even then they can't necessarily agree on all the emotions.
Yeah, like what they mean
And what they
'cause
mean, and
different things to different people, right?
and everyone there's a book out there, how emotions are made, and in that book it describes how there's a way that emotions used to be described as, and it was like the sad face, the happy face, the angry face, and those pictures were actually of people, actors, who were told to make a face that resembles an emotion. But when emotions are actually expressed, they're not expressed in that way. Those actors were exaggerating so that there could be an exaggeration of them. So even our what we have so far today, emotions have been body more of the emotions, going from a place of feeling numb and not being able to feel or experience my emotions because I might dissociate or just completely ignore them, coming to a place where I feel emotions from spirits, and being able to communicate with spirits. I use my emotions to find out how to communicate with them, and I can tell the difference between my emotions and their emotions, and they're talking to me through emotions because that's the language that I best understand.
Yeah, I would say that emotions also help, from my experience, build a bridge of communication and relationship with spirits. And one of the most powerful, or two of the most powerful emotions for building relationships are gratitude and appreciation. So I've noticed that one of my favorite things to practice with spirits is gratitude. Every single time that I'm working with a spirit and I request or support or help with something, I always choose to tune into the experience of gratitude of the request that I made being fulfilled. And the other thing that I was going to say about emotions too, in terms of relationships, is that this can be applied with human relationships, especially to build relationship with another person. um, Gratitude and appreciation are super practical and powerful for strengthening the bridge of connection between us and another person or another spirit, whatever it is. And for me, it's the trinity of harmonious relationships are three emotional states. The first one is appreciation. The second one is safety, and the third one is playfulness. The playfulness is what gives the ability to adapt in the flow of the conversation, from my experience. So, yeah, we can riff on that a little bit more if you want.
Yeah, so as you say that, what comes up to me is the electric magnetic fields, like that felt emotional resonance that I can get from somebody else is information that is floating in the space between us. And generally, I think of it as the electromagnetic field, seeing that the heart ends up um, creating that electric magnetic field, and then my body, my heart, my being my physical body can receive that information and then translate it into an emotional felt experience. That's how I view emotions and communicating through emotions. And if I can get into a state where I'm resonating, or my electromagnetic field is at the same wavelength that another person is at, I can telepathically understand them, because as I'm feeling what I'm feeling, they're feeling the same exact thing.
Yeah.
We're in resonance, so then we have telepathy that we can experience at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love how there's like different levels of connection and rapport that can be developed with another person. So there's like so many, it's like almost infinite nuance, but on the deepest levels of rapport that I've experienced with another person, there is even a physical rapport where we're like taking the steps, like walking at the same pace, like the exact same pace, or making the exact same movements with the other person. And it's almost kind of eerie because it's happening simultaneously. And it's like, I think what's happening is that the mirror neurons are activating so much, like so many more neurons are activating as mirror neurons at one moment, and so that creates so many bridges of connection on you could say like the different chakra systems as well. Like there's rapport with each of the chakras of both people. And I find that like starting with the heart, like that's one of the best places to start with creating rapport, and that's why appreciation is one of the best, if not the best, emotion for building connection. Appreciation and gratitude, which are similar, but to me they are different.
Okay, can you explain what appreciation means to you and how it shows up somatically? Like physically, how do you describe appreciation? What is the process of appreciation in the body, the mind, and just the energetic field?
Okay. Yeah, so appreciation to me is feels like an opening and a relaxation that comes from the heart. It's like an allowing of perception. Within this opening, there's an allowing of perception to see what feels beautiful, what is most in resonance with the inner beauty of oneself. So the inner beauty of myself is not something that I'm like aware of as I'm appreciating, but when I look back, it's since everything in the universe is a reflection, it's a mirror, or it's a series of infinite mirrors that reflects everything inside of myself, then that's what it's happening, is like allowing myself to feel into what is the core of my true essence as that opening is happening. and then a lot of the times it's also a choice, but sometimes it just happens naturally and automatically, especially with beautiful women. There's certain sparkles of love that they're sharing, and I can kind of see it in their aura a little bit, and then the shine in their eyes is like brighter as well, and we can both feel into that energy, and it becomes a dance of more opening into more states of appreciation. Um, yeah, does that answer your question well, or
Sort of.
sort of?
Sort
Okay.
of. Yeah, for me, what appreciation feels like is coming into a state of presence by stating what is in front, and then having that statement of I appreciate you being here, reaffirming in the brain that not only am I being present and noticing what is in front of me and who I'm with, and I'm noticing how I feel and expressing how I feel, I'm also telling the brain, hey, this is what's happening and it's safe. And so the appreciation, allowing more presence through acknowledging the moment and acknowledging the feeling of goodness inside, and therefore safety inside.
Yeah.
And so that's how appreciation shows up for me, and how I would describe it in my language of somatics.
So a greater sense of safety through that openness of choosing to create the statement of presence in your reality. Okay, nice. You know what? How appreciation. I just wanted to comment on this about appreciation, which is that how appreciation relates to self-mastery and divine guidance. I think it's like the connection between the two, which is our topic. Self-mastery, I mean, to have a daily appreciation practice, I believe naturally makes us more effective at life in general, because, well, especially more effective at manifesting, especially because that frequency just builds itself into our day or into our days the more consistent it is. And so then the universe gives us more reasons to appreciate the world the more we practice that. And not only that, but it's also like it opens a portal into divinity and what I would call the sacred, which I actually have a really nice definition for what
Okay, while you look that up,
is.
with being, let's see if I can appreciation. I lost it. It was appreciation in beingness. Let's see. Open. Oh yes, the brain. So communicating with the brain that this is happening. In parts work, where you acknowledge different parts of yourself inside, like inner child, which is a very common one that you understand, or people generally understand. There's an acknowledgement that helps the brain orient to how to process information. So when you train the brain to appreciate things, you're telling it, hey, this is how I want you to see the world, and this is how I want it to come in. And the reason it would be practice is because the brain will go towards safety and survival.
Yeah.
So it'll move towards safety and survival to say, hey, this happened last time, and this was the danger and the threat, and now we're going to repeat that same pattern because it saved us. Obviously, we're here, we're alive, we survived.
Yeah.
And so we're going to repeat that pattern. Even if that pattern is, I'm going to get anxious right now, your brain is going to say, well, that worked last time, so I'm going to make you anxious so that you can be next to this person, because that's how we survived last time. It made you leave the conversation, or it made you start ramping up the conversation so that you weren't feeling the feelings of threat or discomfort inside.
Mm-hmm.
And so the appreciation is helpful to support the brain to tell it, this is how I want you to process reality. This is how I want you to process this information that's coming in. And just taking it out of its default mode, which is more of like, how do we survive this situation in this moment?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I noticed, it creates like an alchemical process especially in relation to those negative emotions. In fact, the technique, one of the main techniques that I teach my clients and students that I teach in my workshops relates to tuning into a few memories, like 3 memories when they felt a deep sense of appreciation for someone or something in their lives, or even for themselves, and then to put those memories above their head somewhere, and then have the negative emotions in front of them that they pull out of their body before they tune into the appreciation. And from there, the appreciation, I guide them to allow those beautiful feelings of appreciation to flow into their body and into the negative emotions in front of them. And I've noticed that out of all the frequency, or so many of the emotions or frequencies that I've worked with that are love-based, appreciation seems to be the most powerful for efficiently and effectively transforming negative emotions into beauty, into art, and
I'm
that
guessing that would increase your performance too, because now your brain is able to process like energy. It's able to process the energy smoother, more effective, and just more effective. So increasing your brain's capacity through appreciation.
Yes.
I like that. Yeah.
And I noticed that I think it does also increase our emotional resilience to life in general.
Yeah, since you can be with the emotions and the feelings.
And you can know that you can transform it at any time. You're not afraid of feeling deeper emotions. And then it can become like a fun game. It's like, oh, okay, now that I have experienced so much gratitude from transforming challenging emotions, I'm now looking forward to the next negative emotions that are going to come up in my experience. And that's like the default state that I've been tuning into more. And it's been really fun because I am not afraid to like go into a deeper state of emotional challenges or sadness and pain, emotional pain or grief, whatever it is, or even anger. Like anger is an emotion that I really love to tune into and embody because I appreciate it so much. And I have more control over it for that reason, because like love has surrounded it from my core so that I can summon anger whenever necessary to help me with my passion and purpose for life. So that's
it feels like it's continuing to train the brain with being able to process and be present with the negative emotions or the unpleasant emotions that just feel like there's a move towards learning how to be with these uncomfortable feelings. Like it's one thing to resolve a feeling, to get out of it, to move it out of the way or to get it out of your body. But then I believe our consciousness and just humans in general have come to a place where we are now becoming present with our emotions, whether they're pleasant or unpleasant. Because even pleasant emotions can be too much for people. A pleasant emotion of goodness, of excitement, could be so much energy that the person starts getting anxious and then starts interpreting that good energy of excitement into this like unpleasant experience of anxiety.
And it's like sometimes it's a micro shift from all it takes is a micro shift of appreciation from anxiety to excitement.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I've noticed. Like, people often think that people who know that anxiety and excitement are the same emotion, or at least on the same frequency, um, often think that, or often might think that it takes a lot to shift from anxiety to excitement. And really, there is a mental level to it for sure, which is like reframing the experience. That's like the mental aspect. But then appreciation can come in and make that whole process of reframing to seeing it as excitement so much easier. By asking, like, what is my body feeling excited about? What is my soul feeling excited about to do? Like, what is the next adventure? Is a great question to ask, because
So it's like being curious about
curiosity.
what happens next.
Yeah. And so combining curiosity, the feeling of curiosity with anxiety, I think can cause that feeling of excitement to happen.
So what has been some of the bigger challenges with the self-mastery and emotions?
For me,
Yeah.
I would say for me, it's like it relates to an avoidance where don't like tune in enough with my body to practice some self-care that can really help me in that situation. And
You don't practice enough to tuning into your body to practice self-care?
yeah, like in certain situations where I feel avoidance of exploring certain emotions, because I might be feeling tired or I might be doing other things.
Yeah.
So then that might mess up my flow a little bit. And I realized a lot of this with self-mastery too, that can help a lot, is the accumulation of willpower, and how to increase our inner fire, or our inner will. You could say the fire of our intent, the fire of our will, makes life a lot easier, in the sense that we are just more powerful at more consistently making the choices and decisions that align with our greatest good, that are more aligned with self-love and self-care. And that's something that I've also been experiencing on this journey as well. Oh, the video is back. Sweet.
The camera turns it off, so I have to click the button, and then it'll turn back on. So welcome, whoever's watching. I see you.
Yeah.
I see your number at least.
But yeah, I did want to ask you, what do you think happens when appreciation accumulates to really, really high levels in the body? What would you call that state? What would you call that state once it has accumulated, I guess, to the next level that's you could say almost transcendent?
If you're asking what is it like to experience a lot of energy of appreciation inside your body, and what that looks like,
Yeah,
is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it looks like compassion. So there's a lot of compassion.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then there's some grace, a feeling of grace. Like the entire body starts feeling soft. So the tactile feeling of my skin and the air and even the ground, everything feels soft, kind of like I'm floating on a cloud. And I can feel and sense my energetic body. I can see it inside like this soft white light in the shape of my body.
Yeah.
And that soft white light has a lot of awareness, so I can tune into different parts of my body and sense them and feel them and see them in my mind's eye, create a map of it.
Yeah.
And so with greater appreciation, there would be a greater amount of safety for the present moment and being in the body.
Yeah.
And so there would be a greater access to being present and being here. And in that greater access of being present, there's a great mystery of things that can occur. So you can have an
Yeah.
imagination, a message of an imagination. You could start seeing things with like 8K vision, because now your processing speed in your brain has become smoother because it's not worrying about safety. So there's just easier
Wow.
processing speed, or a higher hertz in the wavelength. So the brain wavelength could go up to 40 hertz and above.
Okay.
So just a higher frequency of thinking. And yeah, that, and in that state you can have way more possibilities that in your reality. So when you look at things like let's say you're doing a business, and you look at the business and there's a problem in it, the ease of being able to resolve that problem in a higher state of brain wavelength
Like gamma
is
waves, right?
greater.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to be in a gamma brain wavelength.
Yeah.
And so your ability to resolve that problem is going to be easy. You're just going to have an easier ability to imagine different perspectives and different solutions for it. When you're in a lower brainwave or in a beta brainwave where it's just active and it's processing, but it's having a hard time making connections, closer to maybe a survival state, or more active, like, is this a threat? Is this not a threat? And that's kind of happening in the background. It slows down the processing speed of the environment and your problems. So if you have a problem in the business, the ability to resolve that problem and think of solutions for it, it's just going to be
So much
more
better.
challenging.
Oh,
Well, with
sorry.
the survival
With the
state, it's
survival,
going to be
sorry,
more
yeah.
challenging.
Yeah.
Because in the background, there's like, is this a threat? Is this not a threat?
Yeah.
And your eyes and your body is also wanting to look around, but consciously you're forcing yourself to sit still. So then your body is imagining looking around so that it can feel safe. Like, is there really a threat or is there no threat? And because we don't necessarily just look around and allow our bodies to see, hey, we're in a safe place, we're good, and to allow the brain to come to a more coherent state, that's why I think it's harder to think when you're
In survival stage.
in a survival
or stress mode, right?
Yeah, stress mode.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was gonna say the reason I asked you what your perspective on appreciation accumulation in the body, or accumulating to really, really high degrees in the body, is for an important reason, because I had a theory about it after having an experience with that was very romantic with someone, and yeah, just thinking about her, it's like the appreciation comes so easily, and I've noticed that like the appreciation that we were sharing in that in an intimate experience when we were holding each other, I started to feel this sense that like this appreciation has accumulated so much that the only description that I have for it is that it's sacred. That like I don't really know. Never really had an idea of what sacred feels like as an emotion, but that experience, when I was asking myself, what is this emotion, the word sacred came to me, and it was very clear. And so I was like, I can't. And I was telling her, like, I don't know how else to describe this, but this feels like sacred, if sacred is an emotion. And what you were describing about appreciation, like, felt very similar, because you mentioned compassion and you mentioned grace. And I think it was especially grace that caught my attention, and then also a feeling of lightness in the air and like a softness where you feel more relaxed. There's a lot more safety, and so I did want to share a little bit about within that experience that I had with her. I learned, or I asked myself, what is sacred? Like, if we could define it, even like the results that it has, for example, what would that be? Like, what is sacred? And I heard the song "The Sacred" coming up in my mind too when the song "The Sacred" by Yaima actually. When I was having that experience, we didn't play the song, but I told her it was playing in my mind. So the definition that I have is in the form of a question actually, and I asked, "What if what is sacred is the clear is that what if what is sacred is the clearest portal to the divine that also increases clarity of the divine over time? And what if it also helps shed our doubts about the divine and why we are divine?" Yeah. So that's something that I'd love to hear your thoughts on if you want to share.
I I don't remember a time where I actually felt the clarity of sacred because I might have been feeling a few different things and being able to feel one emotion clearly, like sacred.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I first arrived here in Austin, I had a feeling of home kind of just wash over me.
Yeah.
And I'd never felt that before.
Mm.
And I believe what you're describing is like that level of attunement with one emotion. And with sacred, I'd have to tune in. I'd have to remember a moment like that and really like okay, so like
Mm.
my relationship, that that relationship that I was just in and we're friends, like really close friends, that journey of soul contract and helping each other through our human experience to level up into the direction of a greater space for humanity, for like our consciousness and for our mission in helping humanity as a whole
Mm-hmm.
in consciousness. And because we have such a great connection and understanding of like we are here to support each other no matter what happens, that feeling to me would be sacred, which is what you're describing. There is like I can feel it right now in my chest. There's a clear energy on my chest that's like this light blue, just feels clear, doesn't feel hard, doesn't feel rough, just feels very clear, and it's very present here and has always been very present with the way that I view the relationship dynamic that we have.
Mm. Would you also describe that as precious to you?
I guess I have associations with precious and being delicate.
Okay.
I don't know if I would describe it as precious as a delicate thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel strength in it. I would describe it as precious as like a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Just like a diamond, diamonds are not delicate, but
Yeah.
it's still precious in its
So I would describe
glory.
it more as a diamond.
Okay. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So it's almost like it's in the same way that a diamond is condensed through the pressure of heat and the weight of a mountain. It's like it created something that is almost, you could say, immortal. Or I don't know if immortal is the right
Immortal
word,
and
but
clear.
it's like clear.
Clear clarity. It goes from something dense and hard, and you definitely can't see through it, to something that's translucent but strong as hell.
Yeah.
Right? Diamonds are meant to be really strong and durable.
Yeah.
So that's how I would view that sacredness.
Strong and durable, like everlasting.
Everlasting, yeah.
Yeah.
Everlasting.
Cool.
Just nothing can really break it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love that. yeah, I'm grateful that we got to cover the sacred and how I think appreciation gets us into that state.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I was going to mention is that when I had the experience of this romance and how precious it felt to both of us, and how like I was able to feel into it as being sacred, which is something that I would love for everyone to experience in romance. I noticed that I was starting to have these visuals of um, a beautiful, almost like it's not like a temple, but it's like it's like a part of a temple. I forgot what the term is called, but there's these pillars, and then there's kind of a dome, and it's kind of small, and there's water nearby, and something about the essence felt very heavenly and ethereal. And I believe that these types of places do exist here on Earth, where Sedona, for example, being in certain places.
Dude, that place
Sedona,
is wild.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
fucking place is wild.
It's
I didn't know what a vortex was, and I wanted to know what a vortex was, and I found out what a fucking vortex was.
Yeah.
And it is fucking intense.
It's so
It's
powerful.
very intense. So go on. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. Yeah. Yeah, I think that so many of those places in Sedona, vortexes, you could say, vortex locations, remind me of the feeling of sacredness, because of how it's like the frequency is very high in a very loving and ethereal, heavenly way a lot of the time, and how healing it is in those places. Even the people there, like the people who learn Reiki and practice Reiki there, I got a Reiki session there one time by this guy. And
How was it?
It was the most magical Reiki session I've ever had in my entire life. I think the Reiki sessions here in Austin are great, but there's something about how them being around the energy so much, like they are so much more able to attune to you could say more healing and sacred energies that are just really wild. I had a really wild experience from that Reiki session that was very helpful in a lot of ways.
So what? How would you help someone in learning appreciation? Because appreciation, I remember when I first started doing gratitude practices, I would write them down in my journal, and I would get nothing. I would be so annoyed. So I felt other feelings of frustration, annoyance, kind of anger, and then boredom, and like avoidance. I don't want to really do this because this isn't doing the thing that everyone tells me it's going to do. And I would do it every day for about a week, and then I'd kind of give up on it. And I was pretty heady back then. Like, feeling my body was not easy.
It's like more foreign to you.
Pretty foreign.
Yeah.
And so when I wrote things down, I would just be like, what the hell is gratefulness, and what does it mean, and appreciation. Like back then, it was just a gratefulness practice. And then I would just be like, well, I'm grateful that I'm in a home, like I have a place to stay at. But I wouldn't get the feelings of like, oh man, I have a place to stay. Like, I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah.
Like, I have a place now, and I've had a place for, like, I generally have a place to live.
Yeah.
Most of the time. There's only been a few times that I haven't. And the gratitude that I have, even just saying it now, is like, I am so grateful for my place. Like, I love my place. It's downtown. It's beautiful. I live alone. Like, I've set it up so it's a really nice vibe with all my plants, crystals, like all my paintings, the art. Like, it's a vibe. I couldn't do that back then. So for a person who was like me back then, where I was not really attuned and didn't do these practices until I heard about them, and I was like, ooh, I want good feelings. Let me do a gratefulness practice. Yeah. And fucking, I would just like write and just didn't get anything. The weird thing is that later, for my day, it would have a general feeling of like goodness. So that's the other thing is like
Okay.
I was,
Yeah.
even though it didn't happen in the moment and I couldn't connect with it, my brain was still recording as to how I wanted to think and how I wanted to process information.
Yeah.
And so even by writing down the 10 things that I'm grateful for that day, and in that moment I was mostly frustrated that I didn't get any feelings out of it, and that I wasn't feeling like actual gratefulness, because I thought that that was the practice. You feel the gratefulness when you write it down. I think it's not always the case. And for me at the time, it wasn't. I wrote it down. I didn't feel anything. And I would just leave it alone. I'd get frustrated too. I'd get like unpleasant emotions. And later on that day, I would just have like a softer day. Somehow my brain understood the assignment and was like, hey, we're going to have this general feeling of goodness.
Yeah.
So how would you help somebody who can't connect with the appreciation, let alone the sacredness of something?
Yeah, that's a whole different thing if they barely ever appreciate. Yeah.
Yeah, so how would that person start? Like, how could they connect with that and trust that what they are doing, kind of like the gratefulness practice that I had,
Yeah.
there was some trust that, hey, I could have a better day because of this. A 10% better day. Just by writing down 10 things in the morning that I'm grateful for.
Yeah, I do think that to start, gratitude and appreciation are different. And depending on how closely you zoom in to both of them in your body, they are very different. And I think that there's even more different types of energies. You could say different types of appreciation and different types of gratitude energetically on the wavelength level of perceiving our inner reality. And the reason I say this is because I think in other languages, there's maybe like 3 words that describe different types of appreciation. And I'll fix this. Yeah, I think there's more words. For example, in the Greek language, there's so many words for love. But yeah, I digress. To answer your question.
Yeah. Let's answer the question, sir.
Yeah.
Let's not go on tangent.
Yeah, you're saying that telepathically. I could feel it. So
Go ahead.
I don't know what we're gonna do this. Yeah. So the way I would suggest getting started with practicing appreciation, is by like tuning into memories that you've had in your life where you really appreciate something or someone or even yourself for doing something. The other thing that I would suggest is that once you have those memories, like notice what those kinds of things are. It might be doing something that you love, that you're passionate about. It might be doing some type of art, or it could be like with being with certain types of people, like really, really good friends, members of the opposite sex, in romantic ways where you have a crush on them. That can be one of the most powerful portals, at least for me, and I think for a lot of people as well, for people to practice appreciation, is like appreciation for a romantic interest, a crush, and what exactly do you appreciate them? What exactly is it that sparks those wonderful feelings in your body of love for them, or of appreciation, like I said, or what are you grateful for in those states? And I would say, yeah, the gratitude and appreciation that you feel, like those emotions do amplify each other because they are similar in terms of wavelengths. But yeah, I think that answers the question to an extent. You also asked, like, if someone has a really, really hard time experiencing appreciation because it's something that's foreign to them. I would say starting small with any positive feeling that they've ever had in their life can be a great place to start. What is the most positive feelings that they've ever had in their life? That's another good place to start. And I think the only type of people who would listen to this podcast would be people who already have a certain type of foundation of appreciation, of having experienced that in their reality because of how our frequency is. So, yeah, I think that that answers the question pretty sufficiently. But you can let me know if you have more questions and or curious things you're curious about.
Yeah, so we're talking about self-mastery and emotions and some of the challenges, and this getting into a practice of getting more into the emotions and appreciation is a really good way to start that journey.
Mm-hmm.
And as you were saying, the memory thing, remembering something that is that you remember that you appreciate is really helpful, because in the memory, remembering something, it does actually bring up feelings. You go back into that state. Your brain, at some percentage of amount, goes back into that state. Like procedural memory, it turns on a little bit of the procedural memory of what happened in the past.
Yeah.
And so it's easier to feel appreciation because you're remembering something, and it does change your felt sense in that moment. Now, if you don't have any ability to conjure up any positive emotions from the past and appreciate them, I would say find the things, person, place, or thing that you like, enjoy, or maybe just feel more neutral towards, and then begin from there and just appreciate that you feel something neutral or positive from a person, place, or thing. It could be a plant. It could be grandma's place. It could be a memory of grandma. It could be like looking at the clouds and imagining things. Like it could be that act of imagining things in the cloud makes you feel something positive, and you can appreciate that. So it doesn't necessarily even need to be appreciating a person or a place, but appreciating the experience of curiosity and remembering something that is you really enjoy or slightly enjoy, like starting somewhere, and starting somewhere, even if it's neutral, that neutrality, because you're appreciating it, the brain starts learning to reaffirm it, and the nervous system also reacts to that. So then there's a little bit more of a sense and a feeling of a positive emotion that can start coming out from it. So over a period of time of practicing this, there will be greater access to being able to feel positive feelings and be able to feel appreciation.
Yeah.
And so from that exercise, then how do you get to sacred?
The sacred, okay, so from that practice, to me, it's really about following the feelings. Once you are able to tune in and ground into solid states of appreciation, and you can really allow that to sit in your body in a way that you can embody the whole feeling. One of the best ways, I think, to practice accessing the sacred, for example, is to deeply relax the body while you're in that state and continue to relax it through. There's a lot of different techniques, but I would say that any technique that produces delta waves or theta and delta waves efficiently and effectively. Actually, one of the best techniques I know for that is this one called havening. And in neuroscience, this guy named Paul McKenna, he's a hypnotist for Mind Valley. He talks about how he would look into the neuroscience studies, and they would talk about how this technique called havening was the most effective out of like hundreds of techniques that they practiced for producing delta waves in the brain. And you basically rub your left and right shoulders. So your left shoulder with your right arm and your right shoulder with your left hand, and you just go up and down on the sides of your shoulders, and it starts to produce delta waves because it also synchronizes your left and right brain hemispheres. It also reminds the body of what it's like to be a baby and have your mother like caress you and rock you back and forth. So that's kind of the effect that it has, and it naturally produces states of safety. So that's what I would recommend practicing, also combining this with the physiological side that Andrew Huberman talks about. I actually teach this in my workshops, like both of these techniques. He says you want to breathe in fully, and then once you get to the top, suck in some air, and then hold for a bit, and then exhale with a toning sound of and release all the air out of your lungs as much as possible, and then fully back in with your nose, and then sucking some air, and then holding and exhaling, and allowing your body to fully drop and relax all the muscles every time you exhale. Relax as much as possible. So combining those techniques has been helpful, really helpful for me to regulate my nervous system into sometimes profound states of safety. And that safety combined with the appreciation and following the frequencies of appreciation with curiosity can, I believe, lead you to the states of what we would call the sacred. So that, I hope that answers the question well.
Can you summarize that for me again?
Yes, so start with appreciation. Allow yourself to follow the feelings, kind of like a rivers of appreciation towards the oceans of appreciation, like having that intention. And as that's happening, allow your body to relax very, very deeply, and then continue to go with the flow to the point where you're having your own beautiful, wonderful experience. And this could be through visualization, like every visualization, allowing it to be a visualization that every single scene takes you deeper and deeper into more expanded states of appreciation, where it could be like a romantic scene, and then you're with your lover and you'll start to kiss, and it's not just any kiss, it's a very special and meaningful kiss, and then there's more connection where you hug at certain moments. And so with every scene of this experience that you can daydream about, you can access deeper and more profound levels of appreciation to the point where you get to the state of the sacred. I was going to say safety, but the sacred.
That too?
Yeah, that too. Yeah, for sure.
So you think the path to sacred is appreciation build up enough to get to sacred, to experience
That's
sacred?
my theory. Yeah, that's what I've experienced, and I don't know if I'm exactly correct with it, but
and
that's
if it's not a relationship that you're thinking of, then do you get to a place of just feeling sacred by being present, like you're feeling the sacredness of the presence?
Yes, like for example, if I'm not daydreaming of a romantic experience, is what you're asking? Yeah, I would say for me, what could also work is really beautiful pieces of art, or even being in nature, like a sunset can also help me get to that. Appreciating, the art that is nature, the art that is the world, also has helped me in that. It's just that what's most effective for me happens to be romance, beautiful women, romantic experiences, yeah.
So you haven't necessarily had it with other things?
Other things besides what I described?
Yeah.
I think that I have. I think that appreciation can be applied to anything.
Oh, sacredness.
Oh, sacredness. Okay. No, yeah, with art, I've experienced sacredness. I've experienced sacredness as well through, just daydreaming about beautiful artistic things as well. Music, dance, Yeah, I think for me the easiest is yeah, like I said, is
Yeah.
romance.
I could see that.
I'm a lover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from there, I'd like to talk about the intuition.
Okay. Awesome. I'm ready. That sounds fun.
Okay, how do you handle the relationship with your intuition when it's saying multiple things and it's really difficult to discern between each one? And there's even a fight between the intuition of like, hey, this is what you should do, and then the other one's saying, no, this is what you should do, and both of them feel very intuitive,
Yeah.
and they feel correct. And there's a bit of you inside that says, nah, that's not, this is something weird's going on.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good question. Because that does get tricky and it goes into a lot of nuances. And you mentioned the word discernment. I remember that I have or had a process for this that I was able to describe to people. But I'll do my best to answer it regardless. I'll say for me, one of the best things to focus on is what feels most true to my heart in that moment. And now with your question, it seems like you're asking like, what if both things both feel amazing and true to one's heart? In that case, I would probably go into the logical logistics of things to feel into, for example, looking into future pacing. What would happen after I take the action on each one, and seeing where I end up after a certain amount of time. Or yeah, at that point, that's a pretty challenging way to do it. But I honestly don't really run into the problem of not knowing, like being indecisive if there's two really great options. I find myself able to be very decisive on one of them, and even if I make the wrong one, it's still I guess I'm still grateful that I was decisive.
Okay, what
So
if
does it?
it's
I'm straying
two
from the question.
situations where both of them are unpleasant or negative?
Okay, so yeah, I guess I would just future pace and analyze it logically at that point.
What do you think is happening with the intuition and why there's not a clarity in it?
In both situations. So since that doesn't really happen to me, I would say it's a disconnection from divinity, disconnection from like our true essence, from our hearts, you could say, because the heart is the first portal to the divine and the most important one, in my opinion. And yeah, like when it comes to those difficult decisions where both options are unpleasant, I think tuning into the heart, tuning into asking the questions, why is this challenge helping me become more wise? And that corresponds to integrating with the higher chakras. Then asking, why is this challenge of choosing between these options helping me become more loving? And then finally asking, why is this challenge of choosing between these two options helping me become more powerful, more empowered, for example? And what that does is that the question of asking why is it helping me be more loving towards myself, for example, towards others, towards the world, that helps integrate on the middle chakras, and then the last one helps integrate on the lower chakras because it's about power and stability and groundedness. And I think asking those questions can help create clarity. And the reason I say that is because I actually was interviewed by someone yesterday who was interviewing me to see if I could guide her. I wouldn't say like students, but it's like these healing facilitators. Oh, it was Olivia actually.
Okay.
From the facilitation event, and so I guided through guided her through these experiences, and one of them was the quantum sovereignty questions, which is what I mentioned. Is like, why is this challenge helping me become more wise, more loving, more empowered? And she said that she found a lot of clarity from that experience. She got more clear on her why, her purpose for doing what she wants to do. And I think that when clarity increases, then what that also means is that there's less and less indecision between two options. So I guess I would say my solution is to increase clarity, and one of the best ways to increase clarity is to ask these types of questions that are very empowering and help us on so many levels with any challenge, really.
Yeah, that actually makes sense to me, because in negative and positive synchronicity beliefs, the negative synchronicity is a survival state, a no choice.
Yeah.
So when you're in a reality that's being created, and it's a negative synchronicity that keeps coming up, of like giving you no other choice. This is the perspective. So in every situation, there's multiple perspectives and multiple choices. You always have choice. You always have different perspectives that you can look into. But when a negative synchronicity wants you to choose it, to keep believing in it, like I'm not good enough, it will latch on to your nervous system and make you feel that it's super real, that this belief is super real.
Yeah.
And as it affirms you externally of like, hey, look at that, that means you're unworthy, and you don't really want to find out if you're unworthy or not, so you have no other choice but to appease this person. Because if you say no to them and they say no to you because you said no to them, then you're going to fall apart or not exist anymore. And then in positive synchronicity, you have multiple choices. It's open, it's expansive, it's growth.
There's like no wrong choice.
There is no wrong choice. Yeah. So when you have the negative synchronicity really strong in the nervous system and in your belief system, in your brain, the way to get out of it is to give yourself multiple choices. And as soon as you give yourself multiple choices, that negative synchronicity energy starts like coming off of your spine. It stops being so real. And then the survival state that you're in stops being so real. Like I'm not actually going to die. I'm not actually going to fall apart. Like this is not as huge of a deal as it seems. Because now you have multiple options and you get to choose which option you want to. Now, some people might say that's bypassing is to always be positive.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing. If you can't think of any positive, like, reasons why this is good for you or this is helpful for you to become stronger or empowered, then you go negative. You to get out of that spiral, you actually go deeper into the negative.
Yeah.
And so you come up with 3 negative reasons why this is happening.
Exactly.
For you. And as soon as you start seeing the 3 negative reasons, or your brain starts registering these 3 options, then the brain is like, well, at least I'm not, like, it's not as bad as this, or this is bad, but this is also bad, but it's better than the one that I am choosing right now to see it through.
Yeah.
Because you can get in a pessimistic state, and in pessimistic state, it's really hard to think outside of the pessimism because that's where your brain's at. And that's
the pessimism box.
And that's where that's where all the ideas come from. So might as well create more pessimistic ideas and perceptions so that you can choose the one that you want, and that by choosing, you have a sense of empowerment. As soon as you choose that, then there's a little bit of time that happens, maybe a few seconds, and then you can do another option and see if you can be positive or if it keeps going negative, and then you just keep going deeper into the negative options until there's a point where it kind of just clicks and your brain gets out of that fog and that pessimism and goes into, oh, there are other choices of being able to see this where I don't feel like I'm surviving and I'm going to die.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's a strong reframe for sure. And also, I got certified in hypnosis last year, a little over a year ago. One of the most powerful things that I learned is that questions are so much more hypnotic than statements. Everything is hypnosis. I'll explain why that is maybe in this podcast, but there's certain reasons why. And questions specifically are super hypnotic, and the most dangerous, I think, and most powerful of all questions is questions that start with why. And the reason why that is no pun intended, is that why questions presuppose the reality of something already being real. So when someone asks why, why do negative things always happen to me? They're like presupposing that negative things are always happening to them. And then the subconscious mind is just going out there into their memories and different patterns to come up with reasons that basically anchor that reality to be even more true. And I think there's nothing wrong with exploring that with curiosity, like exploring why, like, am I manifesting not good things? It's not a bad question to ask, as long as there's a more light and curious and playful state of discovery, rather than like, oh no, like a shrinking feeling.
Yeah, you're going deeper into the dark.
Yeah.
And it's just taking you deeper, and it's spiraling down instead of bringing you up.
Yeah.
And there's no sense of any safety or getting out of that dark space. I've been there before, and I put myself there countless of times for no good reason sometimes. Like, I just feel dark and heavy, and then I start thinking about things, and every thought, even my friends, when I think of my friends, I think of why they don't like me, why I'm not good enough, why they're not calling me, or why we're not hanging out. Like, it goes into this deep, darker spiral. Yeah. And to stop that, the lightness really helps. Like,
yeah, the lightness helps.
Starting to think of it like, look how funny it is that I just keep getting darker and darker.
Yeah.
And like, and then start getting so dark that I'm like, you know what? And then I'm gonna stop existing all of a sudden, and just go into death and be like, all right, now I'm dead in my imagination, and that kind of lightens me up.
Oh, nice.
Because that's not gonna happen.
When you know that you are nothing, what is there to fear? That's what, like, this one guy from this podcast that I don't know what the podcast was, but he was so wise. He said that he would go to these startup founders who were somewhat successful in what they were doing. He would ask them, how comfortable are you with being utterly insignificant? And he said that their responses would tell him so much about them and where they are on their journey to being even more effective in their business. More effective.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what were the answer? What was a masterful answer?
A masterful answer is like, oh yeah, I'm super comfortable with being like, you know, they have no
totally
problem
fine.
with being utterly insignificant.
Yeah, totally fine.
From a certain perspective, that's what we are. Another thing that he said is that he realized that it's so much better on the path of evolution to not perceive ourselves as improving or getting better. It's better to remember that we're always evolving. Like, that's the natural state of our soul. If our soul chooses to evolve and awaken more and more, it's naturally going to keep happening. So there's no need to worry about trying to improve. It's better to remember that we are already in a state of divine perfection, and that we are simply moving from this state, this stage of divine perfection to the next, to the next, to the next. We're always in the state of divine perfection, just different levels.
Yeah, I've thought about perfection before, and the challenge of contemplating the perfection of in the divine perspective, and then the perspective of perfection in the human experience, and just like separating the two, and like coming to terms of like, how is this all perfect if some terrible things are happening to me?
Oh yeah.
And part of that was accepting that my human experience, my human organism, is in a survival state, or is wanting to survive, and to move forward. So that perfection ends up being that I'm very resilient and can survive this situation.
Yeah.
And that's one area that I got into, like survival state and then resilience. Like anytime survival comes up in my human being, I now immediately bring up like resilience and strength because I'm here and I'm alive.
Yeah. It's like a remembrance that affirms.
Yeah, it affirms the more
your
of
power.
a survival state that I'm in, the more it actually affirms my resilience and survival.
Yeah, I love that mindset, because one of my favorite things to do is to imagine how like certain characters in certain stories, like certain anime characters, have this like crazy personality where they absolutely love challenges and they are super grateful for the challenges, even if it's like even if it's something that's lethal, a lethal challenge. Instead of like feeling any fear whatsoever, they feel nothing but excitement and gratitude for the challenge, because they are on that level of crazy. And so I was like, okay, I mean, that just kind of inspired something in me, because oftentimes those characters have like this apex predator energy, and a lot of other characters are scared of them because of how skillful they are, how powerful they are. And they've developed that power from constantly feeling gratitude and appreciation for all of their crazy challenges that have ultimately made them so effective at battle, for example, or whatever it is that they've gotten so good at.
Yeah, that's a good gratitude practice, is looking at all the challenges that have happened in the past and then view it from a perspective of gratitude, and that connects the brain. It's like reminding the brain, like, hey, these are all the challenges that we overcame, and this is how much resilience and strength you have. And so next time a challenge comes up, because there's so much memory and so much time has been taken to train the brain, like, hey, this is how much resilience we have, and we didn't even have to think about it. It just kind of happened because we were being present in the moment, and we just navigated something that was very dangerous.
Yeah.
And it was with ease, with certain aspect was with ease, because the body was kind of automatically doing and making sure that it was okay.
Yeah.
So that is a really good practice. You know that avoidance thing that you're talking about? This practice of practicing the gratitude of all the times that you made it through situations that were challenging will create fortitude in the body and in the mind for the avoidance in the future.
Yeah.
Because I remember so many times
sense.
I have avoidance that can happen.
Yeah.
With my business, and that's what I've been moving towards since December, is like building a break business. And in that, I have challenges of avoidance and planning, which would overwhelm me, and figuring out how to plan and how to get things in order, how to get the action plan in a way that I actually would do it. And especially with a long list, like 15 different goals, and then breaking them down into tasks. It was already overwhelming, and putting it on the calendar became more overwhelming.
Yeah.
And then I would have moments of challenge with avoidance, and then just moving away from it because I'm in a comfortable situation. I have time and space. And because I have time and space and I feel comfortable, I have all the time in the world, like that feeling, I have all the time in the world to do this. And now I'm making myself do this, but now I have this avoidance about it while I have all the time in the world. Now, if I didn't have any time, then I would have a lot of pressure and I would start doing it more. But I also don't like that pressure because that creates a lot of tension in my body. And it's like tension with stress. It's not just tension. Tension is okay. It's just tension and with an emotion, an emotion that's gonna make my body not feel good.
Yeah.
But practicing that gratitude for all the challenges that I have been through, which when I think about it, I've been through quite a lot, and being able to note that and tell my brain, like, hey, look at all the stuff we have done. And what we have gone through, and the challenges that we did overcome, like, this isn't a big deal, bro.
Yeah.
And so reminding my brain and body for that, I think, will be my new practice at night, so that the next day when I have a to-do list and I want to get into a flow state and there's a little bit of avoidance, it eliminates most of that avoidance right away.
That makes sense.
I can actually get excited. Because some of the avoidance is that I can't connect with the feeling of what my purpose and what I'm doing this for. Because I love that good feeling of, like, knowing that big purpose and, like, this is going to move the needle for this other thing. But in the morning, it's kind of like I have a lot of space. My brain is kind of in a comfortable position, and then I wanted to do something that might be slightly uncomfortable. It's not super uncomfortable that I have a challenge and then I push back. It's just uncomfortable enough that I don't want to do it. And then I find myself avoiding it somehow.
Yeah.
But with this kind of gratitude, it'll move all that energy out of the way, and will just look at myself like, oh yeah, I'm totally good. Like,
Easy.
Let's just do this.
Yeah.
Let's just get this done.
It's also like a looking forward to type of energy. Like, I'm grateful that I'm looking forward to this challenge, and I'm ready.
By the way,
couldn't be more ready.
Go to the restroom. What time do you want to finish up?
Very soon, actually.
Yeah.
I think we can start wrapping it up.
Okay.
Right now, if
go
you
to
want.
the restroom.
Okay. Cool.
I need to be. How about you wrap it up?
Okay, I'll wrap it up. Well, this has been a great podcast. I've definitely enjoyed myself. I hope you all have enjoyed listening to this. And I hope you all enjoy the style of my glasses as well. I just bought these glasses 2 days ago, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna wear these for podcasts. And I did a podcast 2 days ago with these glasses on the whole time, just because I felt silly and fun. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Shout out to BTR Radio. It's also this bar where we're at. It's called Tulum Botanical Bar. It's a kava bar. It's also Kratom bar, kava and Kratom, and it's one of the best places here in Austin. So I actually hang out here a lot, and if you want to check it out, I might see you here. We'll say hi, and I hope everyone has a great rest of y'all's day. And we'll probably cut from here, but I love all of you. Have a great day. But yeah, so in the meantime, if we edit this, we are going to, I'll just keep sharing other things. Wow, I love this. Okay. So what are we going to do? We are going to look at the Google Docs. That's right. We didn't even answer any questions from the Google Doc that we prepared. But I think that's completely fine. That's completely fine. And so, man, I kind of love how I look, honestly, with these glasses. Let's see, where are we going? Soul keys, unlocking self-mastery and divine guidance. I'm going to go to the bottom. What would the world look like if everyone lived by divine intuition? It would look more sacred. It would feel and look more sacred, because everyone would be attuned to creating in alignment with divinity, whatever that means to people. But divinity, I think, always has a common thread of a celestial energy of appreciation. All right.
Is it done?
Yeah, it's pretty much done. I'm just
That
rambling.
was our first podcast, everybody, and we gave it a good shot. We're going to do better next time as well. We're always improving and doing our
all
best.
the time. We're always evolving. Yeah.
Always evolving. And this is going to be an amazing journey because we're only going to get better at talking and asking questions and being curious and getting all the funky stuff out of the being seen and being on camera, which I generally have. I don't know about you, but I generally have a little bit of a freeze response in my brain, which is why my eye kind of flickers back and forth, or my left eye moves left to right,
Nice.
and it kind of fades because there's a little bit of a freeze response. But I've been getting,
you did really good
I've been
today.
evolving.
Awesome.
I've been showing myself on the camera on Instagram before a few months ago, and got better at being okay with being on camera, especially if I'm here with somebody. It helps a lot.
Yeah,
there's that
easier.
togetherness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I was doing this by myself, I would be concerned and worried about perfectionism and getting it right, and how is this boring? Is this exciting? What am I? Am I doing it quick enough? Is it too slow? That kind of thing.
Nice.
Yeah, so this will help me move all that fucking energy out of my system.
We should dance before we do this. I think that can help a lot because it creates a lot of flow and intuition in the body.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it again.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Great talking.